name is Darrel Nelson. I'm the exhibits director for Deadwood History, and I'm standing in one of our 4 locations in Deadwood on the lower level of the Days of 76 Museum, and this, all around me, is our carriage gallery. I could say to you good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you're reading this. I could also say good century, which is not a joke because everything in here is at least 100 years old, and it's all full of stories. So to my right, there it begins with a state with a prospector's wagon, and it tells a story of how it all began here. It's a wagon, but it's also full of the lives of individual people. To my left here is a stagecoach. They were nothing if not full of stories. People, mail, the biggest contracts for stagecoaches were mail, all about stories. Behind me here is a freight wagon. Whoa!
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh!
You got me checking out this here wagon. I was thinking about buying this, adding it to my freight line. Is it for sale?
No, it's permanently part of the exhibit. I'm sorry, I can't go anywhere.
Oh, well, I'd really like to buy it. Put it on my line.
I'm sorry. It's a part of our story. We need it here.
Oh.
But what are you doing in my wagon?
Well, I'm just looking for a new one. You know, I got to put this on my freight line. VP Shoun. Have you ever heard of me?
Oh yeah, I've heard of you.
Well, actually, my name's actually Vespasian P. Shoun, but only my mama calls me that. You can call me Vest. A lot of people call me Vest, like waistcoat vest, like this.
All right, that works.
They can't say Vespasian or VP.
Okay.
That works. You know, Mama told me one time I was named after some guy in Italy that built some coliseum, but I don't know anything about that.
Oh yeah.
I think that's pretty fancy for coming from Tennessee.
Huh.
You know, I grew up in Tennessee, and how I got into this freighting thing, I wanted to see the whole country. So I hopped on this freighting job and walked all the way from Missouri to San Francisco.
You walked.
I walked the whole way. See, well, I'm a bullwhacker. I'm not a mule skinner.
What's that?
Well, a bullwhacker's a guy, he walks alongside of them mules, or alongside of them ox, or bulls they call them, and you crack that whip and you cuss at them.
Oh, yeah,
And that's how you get them to go where you want. Now, the mule skinners, they rode on the wagon, and they could go faster than we could, but we could haul a lot more weight. We could haul 1,000 pounds per ox. That's an awful lot of weight. So, you know, we got on that trail and headed all the way out to San Francisco. It took me 9 months to walk all the way out there. Got out there, and I ran freight around San Francisco for a while. Then I got up to Oregon and hauled some timber. And then I started heading back this way. Got out by Salt Lake, and I had a real good line from Salt Lake up to Fort Benton up there in Montana territory. But I found out it was too cold. So I figured, well, I'll go down south. So I went down to Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, all the way down into Mexico. Then I found out during the summer it was too hot. So I headed back up this way. I ran in Nebraska, Colorado, Nevada, Montana, Minnesota, and then I heard that there was gold out here in these hills, and they were going to start putting freight out here. Well, I wanted to come out here and get some of that gold. So I hopped on this wagon train with this fella named John Gordon and my brother Solomon, and we started heading out this way. But there was a problem with it because these hills actually were part of the Sioux Nation. So we weren't supposed to be out here, but we were headed out here anyway. Well, the soldiers caught us from Fort Randall, and they locked us up, and they burnt our wagons. They burnt our whole line of wagons down and said, don't you guys ever come back, and they turned us loose. Well, I didn't go away. I stuck around until another bunch of folks come through, and I threw in with them, and I headed on out into the hills anyway. We got down by what's called Custer now, right down there by that Harney Peak. And we had to hide out in Harney Peak up in them woods until them soldiers left that were hanging around there so we could start looking for gold. Right. We found a little bit, and then we figured, well, somebody had said something about up on the Whitewood Creek, there's this gulch that's full of dead wood, and we should head up there because they found a bunch more gold. So we snuck our way up around all them soldiers, got all the way up to Deadwood Gulch, started finding all kinds of gold. Well, by that time, they couldn't keep us out. So we staked out our claims, started working them claims, developing things up, started laying out for a new town. This is in October of 75, 1875. We were the first people here. Staked it all out, got it all set up, and then we knew people were going to be coming that next year after that first winter. So I sold everything I had. I sold all my gold claims, made all kinds of money, went out, bought myself some wagons, a whole bunch of oxen, started hauling freight from Fort Pierre out here. See, Fort Pierre's right on the Missouri River.
Right.
So they'd bring all that stuff up, they'd unload it at Fort Pierre, and then we'd come pick it up in wagons, a whole bunch of us folks, and we'd haul it out here. And they had everything you needed. They had flour, and bacon, and coffee, and sugar. You could get anything you wanted out here as long as you had the money and you wait for it, because it might take a little while. They even shipped oysters out here. Boy, I don't know. I hauled a lot of them oysters. I don't think I'd eat one of them after being on the trail. It took 2 weeks to get here from Fort Pierre. You could get caviar, Russian caviar, and my favorite thing you could get was canned peaches. Oh, I love them things.
Right.
So we pick up all this freight, and they pay us $2.50 per hundredweight to bring it out. Well, I had 3 of these wagons all hitched together, and 20 bulls on the front, pulling them all. And I told you how much they could haul. How much was that? 1,000 pounds per bull? We'd have 20,000 pounds per trip. So it'd take us 15 days to get all the way out here and then turn around and haul a few things back. 15 days to get back. It took a month. Now, if you do the math on that, $2.50 per hundredweight, 20,000 pounds in a month. I was making $500 a month.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. So I did that for about 3 years. I had a whole bunch of fellers working for me. I made a whole bunch of money. Then I sold off my freight line. And I went down by Elk Creek, down by Rapid City, there out east of Rapid City on Elk Creek, about 60 miles from here. I bought myself a ranch. I named it the VP Shoun Ranch. So that's kind of how I ended up here in Deadwood and my part of what I did up here. So I imagine when you're leaving Deadwood, you're probably going to have to head back down that Fort Pierre to Deadwood trail. So when you go by the VP Shoun Ranch, you stop in, I'll have a warm cup of coffee and one of them cans of peaches, and we'll sit down and talk about old times. How about that?
As I said, every wagon here is full of stories, and that's a dandy. You can find out a lot more on deadwoodhistory.com, and come and see for yourself. It keeps changing and it's getting more alive all the time. Come and check it out.